Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Brigadier General Jesus Durante has been identified as the alleged mastermind in the killing of model and businesswoman Yvonne Chua Plaza. Davao Regional Director Police Brigadier General Benjamin Silos said that Durante formed a strike team made up of personnel from the Army's 1001st Infantry Battalion. Chua was shot dead by two unknown assailants outside her house in Davao City in late December. Durante had earlier denied any involvement in the murder. The former chief of the Presidential Security Group has also been relieved from his post in the Philippine Army as the investigation into the case continues. And the Health Department is reminding everyone to not be complacent amid the downtrend in COVID-19 cases. Let's bring in JC Cosico, who's joining us live from Mandaluyong City for more details. Hi, JC. What did the DOH have to say about the current COVID-19 situation in the country?
Sean, the DOH said that it remains to be manageable in the Philippines amid decreasing infections, including deaths. But the DOH said that this should not be a reason for the public to let their guards down as the threat of the virus still remains. DOH OIC Vergara said that vigilance must remain, continue to follow health protocols, and get vaccinated. Sean.
Right, there's also a report from the Philippine Statistics Authority, JC, saying that COVID-19 is no longer among the top 10 leading causes of deaths here in the Philippines. What did the Health Department have to say to that?
Sean, this is a welcome development to the Health Department. DOH OIC Vergara said that such signifies that the Philippines is able to prevent deaths from such disease. COVID is now on the 11th spot based on such PSA report. Sean.
All right, what about the state of emergency for COVID-19, JC? Did the Health Department say that this could possibly be extended yet again?
Sean, according to DOH OIC Maria Rosario Vergara, there is no official or categorical response from the Office of the President as to this. Recall that even President Bongbong Marcos was also hesitant to extend such. But according to DOH OIC Vergara, they met with officials to discuss the implications should it not be extended again last year. And they were able to determine that vaccinations can still continue as the EUAs of COVID shots remain to be valid for a year. Sean.
Right, and when will the Health Department and the IATF be discussing the decoupling of alert level restrictions?
Sean, the DOH said that they are targeting to meet with the IATF on February 1 to discuss the decoupling of alert level restrictions. The Interior Department was earlier tasked to assess whether LGUs can implement their own restrictions as these will no longer come from the national government. Sean.
Right, and JC, finally, on the back of lower cases with COVID-19, what is the status of the Health Department's campaign to ramp up vaccination and booster shots?
Sean, according to DOH OIC Vergara, they continue to ramp up vaccination and booster efforts. That's following their study that 6 out of 10 Filipinos are not that much informed as to different diseases, including vaccination. Now, they are in talks with different agencies and stakeholders to increase and to boost the vaccination. And apart from that, this vaccination contributed to the manageable state of COVID in the Philippines. Back to you.
Right, thank you for all those updates, JC. JC Cosico reporting to us live from Mandaluyong City. Moving on now to other news. The Philippines and the United States are studying the conduct of joint patrols in the West Philippine Sea. This is on the heels of the incident off the Ayungin Shoal, where the Chinese Coast Guard drove away Filipino fishermen on January 9. Philippine Ambassador to the U.S., Babe Romualdez, confirmed that talks of joint patrols are on the table. For her part, U.S. Ambassador to the Philippines, Mary Kay Carlson, emphasized the importance of working together to ensure the safety of Filipino fishermen in the disputed waters.
livelihoods. So many fisher folk, have their lives wrapped up in fishing. And so the United States wants to do everything possible. There's an array of activities that we can do. We're certainly working very closely with the Philippine Coast Guard in that regard. So whether it's joint patrols or any other activities, there's a variety of things that we're looking into. But the important thing is that it be done in conjunction with our Philippine partners.
For his part, Professor of International Affairs Renato De Castro believes that joint patrols will do the Philippines some good. But he is warning the government to be prepared in case China takes it the wrong way.
Any action we do, whether it's a joint patrol of the Americans or whether we have fishing vessels or fishing boats go to the South China Sea, this will be seen by China as provocation. So again, what's new if we provoke China? The government should show political will, should show independence of action. Unless we want to cater, want to be sensitive to China's security interests.
And the Philippine Coast Guard says that their intelligence fund is not enough. In an interview with Radio 5, PCG Maritime Security Advisor Commodore J. Tariela said that they are only given 10 million pesos in intelligence funds annually. He explained that this amount has to cover information gathering in the West Philippine Sea and also sustain the country's maritime safety and law enforcement. Tariela also noted that the fund for PCG has not increased since 2012.
Ang pagbili ng impormasyon ay napakamahal din. No? It will cost you kung sakaling gagamitin mo yan. Ang Philippine Coast Guard ngayon, we only have 10 million pesos no, na intelligence fund. Hindi lang ito pang West Philippine Sea, no? Pang kalahatang trabaho na ng Philippine Coast Guard.
More stories coming your way after a quick break. Stay with us here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The Transportation Department clarifies that only the operations and management of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport or NAIA will be privatized. Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista said the airport's assets will remain with the government. But the privatization is still on the drawing board, with the DOTR still working on the terms of reference before companies can be invited to submit their plans. Secretary Bautista confirmed that one American company is interested in being a main proponent, but refused to prematurely disclose its identity. And the Senate is aiming for a more transparent Maharlika Investment Fund. Speaking to the chiefs, Senator Francis Tolentino says that transparency will be key when the upper chamber crafts its own version of the bill creating the wealth fund. He is also looking at a foreign model that makes for a sound sovereign fund like that of Norway's.
The investments of our excess funds, I don't see anything wrong with that. What would probably be scary is that if we don't put enough provisions that would sort of ironclad this to make it more, again, transparency.
For his part, Senator Coco Pimentel believes that the Maharlika bill will mean more loans for the Philippines. Pimentel told Sa Totoo Lang that the Philippines is already neck-deep in debt, currently amounting to 13 or 14 trillion pesos. Pimentel sees the figure ballooning as the cash flow supposedly meant for the government will instead be diverted to the investment fund.
Yung kita ng gobyerno na pwedeng gamitin sa budget, liliit. Tayo po ngayon ay bauna sa utang, 13 to 14 trillion pesos. O ngayon, wala pang Maharlika Investment Fund na naimbento ng panahon na yan. So, ang pacing ng pangungutang natin kada taon, lalaki pa.
The president has backpedaled on using dividends from GOCCs as seed money for the fund. Speaking to Palace reporters, Marcos Jr. agreed with lawmakers that this move is not allowed under the law. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The two activists earlier abducted in Cebu have surfaced. Arman Dayona and Dayan Gumanao said they were free after signing a document saying that they will cooperate with the government. The development workers were in captivity for 5 days. An aircraft of the Philippine Air Force crashed in Bataan earlier today. The aircraft, an SF-260, was carrying 2 pilots and came from Sangli Point in Cavite. The Bataan police already confirmed that the pilots have died. Senate has resumed its hearing on the revival of mandatory ROTC. Senator Bato de la Rosa says today's discussions will zero in on the coverage and incentives of the proposal. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.